You're watching Taste of Victory.
We've talked about many references to Digimon lore this card game has in it, but what about the specific references to other Digimon media? The TCG has a lot of references to the Digimon video games. In particular, there are a ton of references to Digimon World 1. While I love what a bizarre of its time experimental title World 1 is, the Digimon game I was obsessed with as a kid was Digimon World 3. Booster Set 11 just released in Japan, and with it came a lot of new references to Digimon World 3 in the set, so let's round up everyone in this video. The earliest specific Digimon World 3 references we can see printed in the game are Dino and Master Tyrannomon in BT8. If we want to get technical, the Bearmon line, which is a Digimon design for Digimon World 3, has been in the TCG since the first blue starter deck. But just having the Mon represented isn't necessarily a Digimon World 3 reference specifically, so we're going to stick to things that specifically call back to areas or the characters in the game. Dino is Kottoman's champion, or level 4, in the video game, and its art in the TCG gives a cute, subtle reference to the game by having the trees you see in Digimon World 3 in the background that you can kick. I don't know if it's supposed to be referencing a specific area in the game's map, since it looks pretty generic, but if I had to assume, it seems like the upper half of Kicking Forest to me, which would be fitting because the ladder in that area leads up to Tyranno Valley, where you encounter Master Tyrannomon. Master Tyranno is a boss encounter you can trigger in the Tyranno Valley. He sits in a throne room inside a skull at the top of a ladder. It's really hard to see in this artwork, but if you squint, you can see the chair and curtains in the background, which lets us know this art is a reference to Digimon World 3 and his specific fight. After that are the Raidenmon archetype cards in Booster Set 9. Looking back at the Raiden related Digimon, they all reference their fights in Digimon World 3. In Raidenmon's art, you get the clearest look at the background, which is the location boss battles take place in Digimon World 3. On Raigenmon, you can see it fighting Marsmon, which is the mega of Bearmon in the game, and Slash Angemon has an alt art that references him fighting one of the bosses as well. As best as I could tell, there's no other references in this set until the latest Booster Set 11, which has a Digimon World 3 subset theme. This set even includes an entire archetype for the final boss of World 3. Starting at the rookies, Bearmon references the intro movie to Digimon World 3, where they are cornered by Armageddonmon. Looks like they're much happier here though. Bearmon's Digivolution, Grizzlymon, is next. His art directly references the Tyranno Valley in Digimon World 3, and the boss fight you can trigger there with Master Tyrannomon. Looks like Grizzlymon is getting the fight started in his throne room after you've climbed the ladder. Continuing the line is Grapleomon. You have to squint, but it appears to be Bulbmon's limbs in the background, and Grapleomon is fighting him. Bulbmon first appears in the game when you take the Grandola in the East Station to the South Sector. He interrupts your ride, and you have to battle him to continue forward as a surprise boss fight. This fight is scripted, and you can't win it. Once he's low enough health, he flees. Fittingly, Marsmon also contains a reference to cap off the line. This card's base art is paying homage to the Japanese Digimon World 3 cover art, except this time they're all grown up. They're overlooking the same cliff and even have the same digital lines visible in the sky. They're all megas now completing their journey. It's a beautiful card. BT11 does include the other Digimon World 3 starter Digimon, so let's move on to Kottoman. Kottoman is depicted along with the other Digimon World 3 original Mons hanging out in Asuka City, the city where you start your adventure in the game. It's a little hard to tell, but judging by this arc next to this sign, it looks like they're just outside the inn at the north of the city after you picked your team and started the game. Oddly enough, for Kottoman and Monmon, their lines stopped there in this set. Sadly, there wasn't space for their evolutions. So let's look at Monmon. Monmon's art features himself and Kottoman in the lab where you start your journey and find yourself going back to a couple times throughout your adventure in the game. He's admiring the test tubes that have Digi-Eggs in them that can be seen at the background of the room. The Galactimon line was created as the final boss you see grow throughout the Digimon World 3 game and is featured prominently in Booster Set 11 as its own archetype. We start off with Vemmon, who makes his TCG debut in this set. In the game, he's an artificial Digimon made by a group in the world of the game. He's an experiment to eventually mass produce as a weapon. For this reason, Vemmon has the Eosmon level 5 effect of being able to run up to 50 copies of it. In the game, there's tons of them, and combining together lets them digivolve up to Snatchmon. Vemmon's gimmick is absorbing machinery to become stronger, and its option, Fusionize, references this. Snatchmon's art in Booster Set 11 depicts him immediately after his debut in the game following the fusion of 4 Vemmons in a room. After a dramatic, shocking event, he proclaims he has no need for a tamer and aims to be the strongest Digimon. This is why Snatchmon adds Vemmon on Digivolution and why its second effect specifies 4 Vemmon. Snatchmon is the fusion of 4 Venmon. The Venmon line's entire gimmick is absorbing machinery and data to become stronger in Digivolve. Destromon is next in line in the Booster Set 11 set. You don't actually fight Destromon in the video game, and he's just a really cool cutscene. You fight the men in charge who control him though. The art is simple, and judging from the background is likely interpreting the actual cutscene where Destromon fires his cannons. Rounding out this video is Galactimon himself, referencing the final fight in Digimon World 3, which, to show the horrifying scale of him, takes place in outer space. The alternate art depicts the megas of all the Digimon World 3 original starter Digimon. One last honorable mention before we end this video. Tuskmon has a card in Booster Set 7 which I'm not entirely sure is supposed to be a reference to World 3 or just a coincidence, but it depicts it with the Gizamon, which are both common enemies in the game for their respective areas. If it is meant to be one, it makes it the earliest reference in the TCG, but I can't tell for sure the intention behind the art, so I figured I'd just mention it here at the end. And that's everything as of the time of this video when Booster Set 11 just dropped. Honestly, I was expecting this video to be longer, and I was really surprised to see the multitude of Digimon World 1 references and barely any to 3 before this set, let alone World 2. I'm sure there will be more for the other games though, and I can't wait to cover them. Thanks for watching, let me know if I missed anything, and let me know what you want to see in the next video. And until then, remember to stay hungry until you get a taste of victory.